If your soil has ever looked lifeless, dusty, compacted, refusing to grow anything no matter how much you water it, then you already know the frustration. You plant, you hope, and nothing happens. Or worse, things sprout weakly and die off. Most gardeners are told the same solution: buy fertilizer, add compost, keep spending. But what if I told you there's a shockingly simple, almost overlooked method that uses something sitting in your kitchen right now? Rice. Yes, that humble, cheap, everyday grain, often costing less than $1, can help revive dead soil in a way that feels almost unbelievable. And no, this isn't hype. It's rooted in soil microbiology. And once you understand what's actually happening beneath the surface, it will completely change how you approach gardening. Welcome back to the Soil Science Garden. Let's break this down properly. No myths, no shortcuts, just real, practical soil science you can use today. Before we jump into the rice method, we need to get one thing straight: soil doesn't die because it lacks nutrients alone. That's the biggest misunderstanding pushed by conventional agriculture. Soil dies because it loses life. Healthy soil is full of microorganisms. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, all working together to break down organic matter and make nutrients available to plants. When this living network collapses, your soil becomes nothing more than inert dirt. You can pour fertilizers into it, but without biology, plants struggle to access those nutrients efficiently. This collapse often happens due to overuse of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides, excessive tilling, lack of organic inputs, compaction, and poor drainage. Once the microbial ecosystem crashes, your soil becomes hard, dry, and unresponsive. That's what many gardeners call dead soil. Rice is not just food. It's a biological trigger. When rice comes into contact with water, it releases starches and carbohydrates. These compounds are a feast for microbes. In fact, rice is one of the simplest ways to culture beneficial microorganisms right at home. But here's the key insight most people miss. Rice doesn't feed your plants directly. It feeds the microbes that feed your plants. That's the real game changer. Instead of forcing nutrients into the soil, you're rebuilding the living system that naturally cycles nutrients. And once that system is restored, it keeps working continuously, without constant inputs. Let's get practical. Here's how you can use rice to bring your soil back to life. Start with a small amount of plain rice. White rice works perfectly fine. You don't need anything fancy. Rinse the rice in a bowl with water and gently swirl it around. The water will turn cloudy. That's exactly what you want. This cloudy water is rich in starch and acts as a microbial starter. Now, instead of throwing it away, collect it. Take that rice water and pour it directly onto your soil. Focus on areas that are compacted, dry, or struggling to support plant life. The water will seep into the soil, carrying those carbohydrates deep into the root zone. At this stage, something invisible but powerful begins. Microorganisms already present in the soil, yes, even in dead soil, start to wake up. The starch acts like an energy boost, allowing them to multiply rapidly. Over the next few days, microbial populations begin to grow. Over the next few weeks, soil structure starts to change. And over time, that lifeless dirt transforms into living soil again. If you want to amplify the effect, you can take this a step further by fermenting the rice wash. After collecting your rice water, place it in a container and leave it loosely covered at room temperature for about 2 to 3 days. You'll notice a slight sour smell developing. That's fermentation. What's happening here is powerful. Beneficial bacteria, especially lactic acid bacteria, are multiplying in the solution. These microbes are incredibly effective at suppressing harmful pathogens while improving soil health. Once fermented, dilute the solution with water, about a 1:5 ratio, and apply it to your soil. This version doesn't just feed microbes, it introduces new beneficial ones into your soil ecosystem. This is where things get interesting. When you apply rice water or fermented rice solution, you're kickstarting a chain reaction underground. Microbes begin feeding on the starches. As they multiply, they produce enzymes that break down organic matter. This process releases nutrients that were previously locked away in the soil. Fungi begin to establish networks, connecting plant roots and improving nutrient exchange. Soil particles start to bind together, forming aggregates that improve aeration and water retention. Earthworms and other soil organisms are attracted to this newly active environment, further enhancing soil structure. In simple terms, you're rebuilding an entire ecosystem, and once that ecosystem is stable, it becomes self-sustaining. You've probably noticed the bold claim, "permanently revives soil." Let's be clear, nothing in gardening is truly permanent if you continue practices that destroy soil life. But what this method does is restore the foundation. Instead of relying on constant external inputs, you're rebuilding a living system that can sustain itself. Once microbial life is active again, it continues cycling nutrients, improving structure, and supporting plant growth with minimal intervention. That's why many gardeners feel like this method fixed their soil long-term. Now, before you rush off and dump rice everywhere, let's talk about what not to do. Using too much rice water can create anaerobic conditions, especially in poorly drained soil. This can lead to unpleasant smells and slow microbial imbalance. Moderation is key. Applying it to waterlogged soil won't give good results. Soil needs oxygen for beneficial microbes to thrive. So, make sure your soil drains reasonably well. Expecting instant results is another mistake. This is biology, not chemistry. It takes time, usually a few weeks, to see visible improvements. And finally, don't abandon all other good practices. While rice can kickstart microbial life, combining it with mulching, minimal tilling, and organic matter will give you the best long-term results. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why isn't this widely promoted? Because it doesn't sell products. Modern agriculture is heavily dependent on inputs: fertilizers, pesticides, soil conditioners. These industries thrive on the idea that soil needs constant external support. A method that uses kitchen waste to rebuild soil biology doesn't fit that model. But in small-scale gardening, especially for those of us growing our own food, this knowledge is incredibly powerful. It puts control back in your hands. If you apply this method consistently, here's what you'll start to notice. Your soil becomes softer and easier to work with. Water begins to penetrate instead of running off. Plants establish roots faster and grow more vigorously. Leaves appear greener without additional fertilizers. You'll see more life, worms, insects, and fungal growth. These are all signs that your soil is coming back to life. Rice alone is powerful, but it works even better when paired with other simple techniques. Mulching helps retain moisture and provides additional organic matter for microbes to break down. Reducing tillage protects the delicate microbial networks you're trying to rebuild. Adding small amounts of organic material, like leaves or kitchen scraps, gives microbes something to process over time. Think of rice as the ignition, not the entire engine. To keep things practical, here's an easy routine you can follow. Once or twice a week, collect rice wash water and apply it to your garden. Every couple of weeks, use fermented rice solution to boost microbial diversity. Observe your soil, dig a little, feel the texture, smell it. Healthy soil has a rich, earthy scent. That's a sign of active life. Adjust as needed. Gardening is always about observation and response. What you're really doing here goes beyond just growing plants. You're rebuilding soil ecosystems. Healthy soil stores carbon, retains water, supports biodiversity, and produces more nutritious food. It's the foundation of sustainable gardening. And the fact that something as simple as rice can help trigger this process is both humbling and empowering. It's easy to get caught up in complicated solutions, expensive fertilizers, advanced soil treatments, endless products promising results. But sometimes the most effective solutions are the simplest ones. Rice isn't magic. It's science. It works because it feeds the life in your soil, the part that truly matters. So if your garden has been struggling, if your soil feels lifeless, don't rush to spend money. Start small. Start simple. Try this method and watch what happens over the next few weeks. You might be surprised at how quickly your soil responds. If you found this helpful and want more practical, science-backed gardening methods that actually work, make sure you subscribe to the Soil Science Garden. Share this with someone who's struggling with their soil. You might just change how they garden forever. Let's bring life back to our soil, one simple method at a time.